Hello, welcome to Hair of the Day with Olive Beauty. I'm Ray. Today I went for a run, not that unusual. It's really nice out there. I hope you get out there. I was listening to this Joe Rogan podcast while he talks to this NASA guy, a real astronaut who's actually been out in space and was doing spacewalks and was talking about how the suit is so puffed up with air that even closing your hands is a big, huge problem for him because it felt like moving a water balloon when he even had to be working outside on the space station while he was doing his spacewalks. So very interesting podcast to listen to while you're on a run, which makes me think naturally we should be doing some space buns today because in honor of our NASA guy. I really love space and learning everything about science that I can. If you don't know that about me, now you do. Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of my favorite professors, I guess. He's put out so many books and so much information, and he has this podcast called Star Talk, maybe? Bill Nye's always on there. Anyways, side tangent, brush your hair. You obviously just saw me undo those braids that I had been running in. This is going to be a quick look again because that's my life and I don't feel like doing a lot, but space buns will be really fun. I'm not going to do all of my hair up. I have been putting my hair all up lately last week. Surprisingly, I wear my hair down usually all of the time, but because we're doing hair of the day, I wanted to keep it more interesting than here we go, we're done. And that's usually how fast I go, so we'll play a little bit more today. Control, flex, whatever, some sort of heat protectant hairspray. Don't care if you're using living proof or not. Easy. I'll brush that in again. What you'll need today is probably 2 elastics and a few bobby pins. You can bypass the elastic part if you're good enough with your little buns to not need them. But I often find it's just a little bit extra help. And why would we say no to a little bit more help? So brushed, sprayed. I'm going to section from my ears to the top of my head. Meeting in the middle with both hands. Easy. My line might not be perfectly straight because as you've heard me say 1,000 times, I do have extensions in here just in the front. And so it's a little bit hard to make a perfectly straight line when you're fighting with some extensions. I'm dividing my hair down the middle. I have heated up my 1-inch iron with the clamp. Can be clamped or unclamped. If you're using the wand, that's fine. And I'm going to do that beachy wave we did last week, where you just curl it around around the iron and then it leaves those little worms. I'm not super concerned about grooming all of this because that's just me, and I kind of like that puffy, textured hair. It looks really natural because it halfway is really natural, and I just like it because it's easy to maintain and you don't have to worry so much about what your hair is gonna look like all day. Again, my hair is so curly, and as soon as it gets a little bit of humidity or sweat or even just going about day to day in my day, when I'm getting warm, my hair will frizz up. So this is kind of a cheat way of creating a base for my natural texture to be able to work really well with. As you can see, I'm just picking up a few random sections and just spinning them around the iron. The iron is as hot as it can go, and I'm just tweaking some of these expanded pieces that will look like they need some more help. Also, I definitely highly recommend that science guy that I'm listening to. I would tell you, but my phone is actually recording this, so I can't really let you know what his name is, but it was the most recent astronaut that Joe Rogan's had on there. If you've not been listening to Robin's and my podcast or just tuning into Olive for the first time, you will quickly realize how big of a fan we are of Joe Rogan. He just talks to the most interesting people. I love it. Okay, couple more pieces. Like I said, I always try not to miss the back because that's the part that we don't see in the mirror, but everybody else sees from behind us. I have to run a few errands today. It's Monday. Monday is my day off. Sunday and Mondays are Olive's closed. And Sunday is kind of that lazy day that I can hang out with Jay and just do whatever. Yesterday I worked out and then laid around all day, which was so nice because I felt like such a sloth. You know, sometimes when your muscles just need a little extra love. That was yesterday. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'll spray it with some more spray just to help set those curls. I'm not gonna brush it out yet because I would rather them just cool down in these little things than mess with it now. As you saw, I clipped this up, so we'll release that. Find our brush or comb, probably both. And then I'm going to, that's where my fringe wants to be, so I'll probably divide it down by that. This is a very awkward way of doing it. Don't know why I'm telling you to do it this way. Basically, you just want to divide your hair, but still keep it separate from the rest of the group. So this little side, I'll clip back up with my clip. Yep. And I'll grab this stuff that is going to be in the little space bun, probably that little blanker too. Okay. I am going to leave some fringe out and some pieces around my face because, as I've mentioned before, I don't really like when my hair is super slicked back from my head. Taking this section, you can wrap it with a little elastic. That might be an easy idea. Let's do that. So take your tiny elastic, find your section, messy or no messy, it's totally up to you. Wrap it with that tiny elastic. Same one we used for our run. Now I've got a pigtail and a crying cat. Hi, baby. Love Charlie, he's so cute. Same idea on this side. I'm gonna release my fringe, maybe a few extra pieces that I'll mess around with. And then I'll smooth this out. You can take a brush. I obviously didn't on the other side. And then I'll pigtail this way. I'm kind of liking this pigtail. I might not go full space bun today. No, we'll do another day of birds of prey, you know? Joker's girl. Space buns. Joker's girl. Don't know. Harley Quinn or Space Cadet. I feel like Sailor Moon. Okay, stop messing around. Take your section, take your brush, and simply just brush it down towards yourself in this kind of a motion where you're kind of rounding through a C shape. As you can see, I have now created some good texture to make these space buns with. And that kind of back combing is very, very easy to remove at the end of the night because I don't want to damage hair. I would rather keep it as healthy and happy as possible. Just reaching for my pins here. We will need a couple of them. So once you've got a pin, take your little back combed section and just start spinning it, whichever direction you think is going to be easiest for you. So that's pretty good. If you don't like this, how the bun's sitting, adjust it. Take your pin and simply just take it through the bun and shove it through. I'll take another one on the opposite side and shove it through, and that's pretty good. If you need to adjust anything, that's so easy to do. Taking this section now, lifting it up from our ponytail and now twisting it either the same direction or the opposite. It doesn't really matter as long as you're getting that bun shape you want to see. As you probably know if you've been watching, I can't see because I'm not wearing my glasses. I am seriously thinking about LASIK eye surgery because I'm tired of being blind without glasses or with contacts or with whatever. They're just annoying for me. I'm pretty satisfied. I don't want things to be looked very done. I like that messy hair, as you know. So I'll take my iron and just mess around with my fringe a bit. Maybe put this texture back into it. Any of those pieces that escaped that I wanted down, wrap that around my iron. Just make it nice and squiggly. Smoothing but not smoothing my hair. If you need to adjust the pins in your little space buns. That's super easy to do. You can always add more pins or less pins, whatever your hair is craving. You can give it a more spray if you're worried that it's gonna pop out. And then at least with the tiny elastics that we had, we kind of have a symmetrical look going on, which is very helpful if you're especially kind of learning how to do your hair. I think an elastic, hence why I did it, is the best idea for you. Now I'll brush through these curls that we had set in earlier, especially through those extensions. I will tuck them behind my ears because I don't like having a lot of extensions showing. They're pretty good though. Kathy Olson did Kathy Berard? Love Kath either way. She's my hairstylist. She taught me everything I know so that I can teach you everything I know. So here we are. You can give yourself another spray. You can just leave it how it is. You've got some space buns. You've learned that I love Joe Rogan. I would highly recommend listening to this space guy because he's been a very interesting read. By read, I mean listen. He's a podcast. You can't read about it. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ray at Ray. Oh God, I can't even find my Instagram. Holy Snips Ray is my Instagram. Olive Beauty YYC is this Instagram. And I hope to see you in for Hair of the Day tomorrow. Enjoy those space buns and check in later. Bye bye.